back to the Olympics now. We're introducing you to one of the stars of Team USA, water polo goalkeeper Ashleigh Johnson. She's already a gold medal winner from Rio, and the trailblazing athlete is a champion of overcoming racial barriers in water-related sports. A report found nearly 64% of African-American children have no or a low swimming ability, putting them at a higher risk of drowning. That's compared to 40% of white children. Experts say one reason is America's history of banning black people from public pools and beaches. Jamie Yukas met with Ashleigh and joins us again from Tokyo. Yep. Jamie, I can't wait to see the story. I read it, but it's better to see you and out there in the water with Ashleigh.
I'm still tired, Jerika, as a matter of fact, from my time in the pool with Ashleigh. Ashleigh Johnson says she's sometimes overwhelmed by her role as the only African-American woman to make the U.S. Olympic water polo team. But she's also inspired by all the stories she's heard of young black children getting involved in aquatic sports. That inspiration surely goes both ways, and it's what keeps her motivated both in and out of the pool.
Ashleigh, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you,
I've never met someone in the pool before.
Really?
It might be the best way to meet an Olympic water polo star, neck deep in her natural habitat.
Are you still swimming right now?
Yeah, I'm treading. Like, this is my rest.
It is?
Yeah.
And you're not tired?
Rest right here, no.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
But to really understand the athleticism of Ashleigh Johnson, you've got to tread a mile in her swim cap. In 2016, Johnson helped lead the U.S. women's water polo team to a gold medal in Rio. For most athletes, an Olympic gold medal would be their biggest accomplishment. But not Johnson. She also made history as the first African-American woman on the U.S. Olympic water polo team.
Why do you think many African-Americans don't participate in water polo?
The biggest barrier to entry is the narrative that black people don't swim. That needs to go away. I heard so many times growing up that I didn't belong here. And not always in that direct way, but indirectly, like, oh, what are you doing here? Like, how did you get here?
This is where it began 23 years ago when I bought a house with a pool.
She got there by starting out here with her 4 siblings in the backyard pool at her mom's house in Miami.
But of course, the pool became a big thing to me because I had nightmares and of them all drowning. So I thought I had to get them all to swim. I had to get them to learn to swim.
When I go home and I get in the pool, I'm like, this pool is so small and it seems so big when we were young.
Big, but not big enough. By high school, Ashleigh was an all-county honored swimmer.
Even though I hate swimming, seeing how far it's taken us.
How do you hate swimming?
So everyone hates swimming low-key, but no one says it. I really love being a part of a team, working with group dynamics, and swimming didn't give me any of that.
How were you able to convince people in your life that you didn't want to swim, but you wanted to play water polo?
I had a deal with my swim coach in high school, my sophomore year, that if I won the 50 free in the state championship, then I would never have to swim again. He was like, okay, thinking I wouldn't do it.
First of all, the coach should know better. You just don't give Ashleigh a goal like that. I mean, anything you tell her that like she can't do, essentially, she's gonna do.
Just throw the ball out here.
The fact that now her coach is Team USA's Adam Krikorian tells you how the deal back in high school worked out.
She's one of the best to ever play the game in her position. When she's dialed in, I mean, it's so intense. If you look deep into her eyes, you can see the focus and the drive to be the best.
No one wants to get balls tossed at them at 40 miles per hour, but...
The balls come at you at 40 miles an hour?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Just remember, I need my face for work.
That intensity is intimidating when you're face to face with her across the surface of a pool.
Ready?
Maybe. Okay.
Nice. Oh, no.
But out of the pool, that focus turns to something else entirely.
I see my biggest role as being a mirror for young girls and young boys to see themselves in. Like, know that there's someone up here who's different. A representation is everything. If you can't see yourself at the highest level in your sport, achieving whatever goal you want to achieve, how can you visualize yourself getting there?
And now people can envision an African-American Olympic gold medal winner in water polo.
Yes, exactly.
Ashleigh and her teammates are now a few steps closer to adding to that medal collection. Over the weekend, they defeated the Japanese by a score of 25-4 and then went on to best the Chinese team 12-7. They still must face the Hungarians and the Russians before hopefully advancing to the quarterfinals next Tuesday. Anthony.
Jamie Yuccas in Tokyo. And one thing we learned already, this is a lot harder than it looks, Jamie.
Oh, my goodness. The pool's like 12 feet deep. I mean, she has to pick her whole body up out of the water to be able to block those scoring, the goals. So it's incredible what she does.
Yeah, I know. Gayle kept saying here, you mean she can't actually touch?
I didn't realize until your story, Jamie, that when they're standing in the goal, that they're swimming and having to paddle the whole time. That is exhausting. So how were you able to stay up? Because you stayed up a pretty good while.
Well, I grew up in the land of 10,000 lakes, right? So we started swimming very, very early on. So I learned how to tread water when I was probably about 3 or 4 years old. So I've been swimming a long time, but that was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. And I quickly got out of the pool. When they said, cut, we're ready for the interview, I was out.
All right, Jamie Yuccas again in Tokyo for us. Thanks, Jamie.